Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all of my patrons. My name's Neil, and it's time to watch the Book of Boba Fett. I don't know about you guys, I'm psyched. I am a lifelong Star Wars fan. The very first movie I have a conscious memory of going to the theaters to see was A New Hope in probably 1979 when it was re-released prior to the release of Empire. I would have been 5 years old. I remember it clear as day. And yeah, since then, I've watched every Star Wars movie as it came out. I've watched Clone Wars, I've watched Rebels, I've watched The Bad Batch, I watched The Mandalorian and loved it, and ever since they teased the Book of Boba Fett at the end of the second season of The Mandalorian, I've been hyped. I cannot wait, and then the day is finally here. We get to see Boba Fett, we get to see Fennec Shand, we get to see them try and take over Jabba's crime syndicate. I'm fascinated. Fans of the Star Wars universe have been begging for an underworld story of some sort for years and years and years. And it feels like this might finally be it. So that's awesome. I'm psyched. Now, if I am a Star Wars fan, I am not a Star Wars nerd, in the sense that if you want someone who can identify every alien race, if you want someone who knows the classification codes of all the weapons and the vehicles, you've come to the wrong place. I'm sorry. If you want that level of detail in your reaction, go check out the guys at Blind Wave. They are amazing. I'm a huge fan of what they do, but that's not what you're going to find here. I am a fan. I have not studied the shows. I haven't played the video games. I haven't read the comic books or the huge number of books that have come out over the last 40 years. So I don't know the history of the Old Republic. I won't be able to tell you the names of the five crime families, that sort of thing. I'm just a fan of the Star Wars universe. These are iconic characters that they're bringing back and giving their own attention. Boba Fett, was the first character, maybe not the first character in the Star Wars universe, but one of the very early characters that really captured the imagination of the fandom, in part because he was really just kind of teased when he first appeared. He had so few lines, he hardly did anything on screen, and yet he had this, he was clearly incredibly capable and had a strong reputation in the universe. So I'm excited to see where we go with this. It was great to see Boba show up again during season 2 of The Mandalorian. That was anticipated and wished for, but I'm not sure everybody was expecting it necessarily, but it was so great when it happened. His fights in The Mandalorian were better than I think anything we've seen of him up to that point. I'm just excited to see where we go with this. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. I don't have a ton to say. That being said, this is the first episode of a new series. So taking my lead from other reactor channels, I am making the full-length reaction of this episode available to anybody and everybody who wants to check out my Patreon. So if you haven't yet checked out my Patreon, but you do want to see my full-length reaction, check it out now. It's patreon.com/NeilTalks. And if you like that format, consider supporting the channel. If not, that's totally cool too. I'm glad that you've just discovered Neil Talks today and you're checking out this new reaction on YouTube. Now, I don't have too much else to say. We don't know where... All we really know is Boba and Fennec are together. I'm assuming that this takes place shortly after the end of Season 2 of Mandalorian. I'm expecting this to take place on Tatooine, but there may be events prior to that. And I'm psyched to see where it goes. So let's jump into it, guys. This is Episode 1 of the Book of Boba Fett. Chapter 1. Great, it's a title that gives away nothing. I love it. Just like they did on The Mandalorian, if I'm not mistaken. Did I see a Fennec helmet in that intro? That's awesome. Jabba's Palace. Ugh, it looks so good. Is that in the Sarlacc? Is that what we're getting right now? Are we getting him escaping from the Sarlacc? Oh my god. Yeah, like the acid's eating away the stormtrooper armor. Mandalorian armor holds up a little better. Beskar will do that. Did he literally kill it? Wow. I love that this is where we're starting. Because it's sort of been that mild question since the original trilogy. How does he lose the armor now? He actually killed it from the inside. That's awesome. Oh, so thrilled. Okay, so these are the Jawas that must have stolen his armor. Because we know the sheriff ended up getting it off the Jawas. I love that we're filling in the gaps. Wow. That close to death that you get beaten by a Jawa. Does he get taken in by the Tusken Raiders? We've seen him fight incredibly well with one of their clubs. What's that? Well, they saved him. Or they've enslaved him. Boy. Oh, what an awesome shot. I love that we haven't had a word yet. And yet everybody knows exactly what's happening. Love it. Love it. Stranger in a Strange Land. That's a title of a really bad episode of Lost, relatively speaking. What? What's that? Are these just the kids? Is he just like there for beating practice? I love the design of these lizard dogs. I don't know the species name, I'm sorry, but they're awesome. Half alligator, half direwolf. You just put it to sleep. You didn't kill it, right? No. Do you want me to cut your bonds? He's got a club. Are we ever going to see under a Tusken mask? Oh, just like that. Well-trained dog. I love that he's been stripped of all his armor and his weapons. And obviously he's weakened. He's not invincible. And yet he's still incredibly capable and strong and skilled. Nothing surprising, but it's a good way to really kind of beat him down. Oh, interesting. What's happening with the grain there? What was that choice about?
Wake up, boss.
So why does he sleep in this tank? What's this all about?
Healing session suspended.
Healing session. Awesome. So obviously Mandalorian Season 2 sort of finished with him sitting in the throne. So it's not like we're leading up to that. He's already taken the throne. God, this uniform, this costume is awesome. Something about that one dent in the crown of the helmet. I love that that never goes away.
That's weird. I used to work for him.
It's even weirder for him.
1,000 tidings.
Is that a Wookiee skin?
Daimyo.
It's an honor to be welcomed to Mos Espa by you, Doxterasi.
We were told the mayor was coming to pay tribute.
I understand how one might draw such a conclusion.
The mayor's tribute.
Another
No tribute.
understandable misunderstanding.
Oh dear.
So you.
This
bring
isn't
no
going to
tribute.
go well.
Next.
Actually, there is one other matter, if I may. The matter of tribute.
I'm confused.
The mayor's demanding tribute?
I'm the crime lord. He's supposed to pay me.
Shall I kill him?
Keep an eye on that one.
Keep an
Yeah.
eye on everyone.
They did not surrender even after their patron was killed.
Classic characters.
I do not torture.
Respectfully, Lord Fett, on Tatooine, you must project strength if you are to be accepted as a daimyo.
A daimyo?
You were loyal to both your bosses.
Is that the term for crime
You'd be
lord?
loyal to me if I were to spare you.
They take the knee. Has Boba gotten soft? Wow. Is this still on Tatooine? Because we haven't seen anything of this scale before. This isn't Mos Eisley.
I'm not being carried around the
Those are real Boston Dynamic robot dogs.
Sign of power to the people of Mos
I think those are in-camera droids. Oh, we are going right back to the beginning. Different cantina, though. But the band is the band.
Would you like your helmet serviced and cleaned while you wait for Madame Garson?
No.
Sure.
Helmets
Things will go a lot
serviced.
smoother if you accept their ways. I have replaced Bib Fortuna.
Apologies, I didn't see your litter.
I walk on my own 2 feet.
Apologies.
Your business will continue to thrive under my watchful eye.
Little slice of paradise. You are always welcome. Huh. Yours looks shinier than mine.
Serviced, indeed. Well, so they're basically just doing the rounds, collecting
Many
protection
passions.
money.
I intend to rule with respect.
We're getting lots of little bits from the trailer so far. Who are these guys? No one's taken the helmet. The helmets is at least as valuable as the credits. Fennec needs some Beskar. Ah, nice. They've got loyal guards now. I'm gonna need to know what to call these guys, because the green pig lizards has too many syllables. Boom.
Alive.
Alive. Okay.
Get me to the back part.
Parkour has made it to the farthest reaches of the galaxy. But what an awesome shot. So who are these guys? They don't feel like police. I like that Fennec can handle herself close up, too. I mean, we know, obviously, she's an insane sniper, but... I'm in love with her helmet, too. Like, if Hasbro does a black version of a Fennec helmet, I'm all over that. Ah, more dream time. I love that these dreams have that sort of film grain to them, like the original 3. And the grain's gone, but it's a cool transition. Neighboring tribe? Are they going to be traded? No, it's a moisture farm. Oh, is this Luke's moisture farm? Is this the killing of his uncle and aunt? No. But that doesn't match the timing at all. That doesn't match the timing, does it? It's just another moisture farm. No. It's just very similar. They were burned alive too. It felt like that's what was happening here.
Dig for that.
What is it?
You want me to dig for that?
Dig for water. I feel like you're gonna have to dig really deep to find water in the Tatooine desert. Whoa. Water is in these gourds? He keeps finding them. Oh, they're everywhere. Oh, this isn't gonna last well. Part of me thinks they're gonna befriend each other, but part of me thinks it's just a matter of time before Boba takes over and masterminds his escape. Oh, what's this? It's something animalian. It's alive. What is it? Is it a Rancor? What is it? I've never seen anything like that. I mean, this is like Japanese monster movie villain. This thing just lives under the sand? Boba's gonna save the day somehow. Choke it with the ankle chain, presumably. Oh, it's like a lizard minotaur. Wow. I love it. Yeah. Choke it out. I want a drink. Look, Dad. Dad knows better. Yeah. Thank you for saving my son. I'm fascinated by these water gourds that just... Robert Rodriguez! Awesome. Favreau and Filoni are doing such awesome things with the... Oh, and Rodriguez is in as an executive producer. That's interesting. I wonder how many episodes he's going to direct. I'm digging the music, but it's not typically Star Wars at all. It's not a rousing John Williams score. It's maybe the most vocal thing I've heard on Star Wars in a long time, if ever. I was wondering whether there might be 2 episodes, because Disney Plus sometimes does that with new premium series. You know, they did that with WandaVision, they did that with Hawkeye, they didn't do that with Mandalorian. Doesn't look like they're going to do that with Boba Fett. I'm excited because I just assumed we were going to jump straight into the Jabba's palace stuff, but instead, I mean, at least half of this episode was flashback, and it was filling in that gap post Sarlacc pit, basically, where, you know, we inferred the story when we realized Boba was alive again in The Mandalorian, when he appeared at the side of Shand when she was dying. We didn't know for sure it was him at that point, but we started to guess. And then, you know, the question is, well, how did he escape the Sarlacc? And then the answer is basically, well, he's Boba Fett. And that's how, you know, now we finally get to see exactly how it happened and how the Jawas took his armor. And now we're seeing this backstory of him with the Tusken Raiders, and it's great because it's Tatooine, it's original trilogy. It's so connected to the story of that original trilogy. I didn't even know I needed it, and even though you know what the end result's going to be, I love getting it. It's so much fun, and you know, it not only does it humanize Boba, it humanizes the Tusken Raiders, even though we certainly got some of that back in The Mandalorian when Mando could communicate with the Tuscans, with the sign language and the grunts and groans of their very unique language. But this was a ton of fun, and I love that even though none of it's subtitled, we don't need to read what the Tuscans are saying. We don't need to read what the those paying tribute to Boba in the temple are saying. What they're saying is really quite obvious by their posture, by their gestures, and even the tone of their alien languages. So it's really clever storytelling between the script, between Rodriguez's direction, and the editing. Those are the three levels of storytelling that are all equally important in television and movies. The script, the direction, and the editing. The three of them together are how you choose to tell the story, and a single one of them being strong is not sometimes enough to overcome weaknesses in the other two areas. And when they're all really well done, you get great story told in a really entertaining way. And I'm just excited to see where this goes. Clearly, Boba hasn't yet fully earned the respect of his new crime empire. People are playing along. Some people are playing along, but not everybody. And Boba himself is he sick? Is this just like, the years of injury catching up to him? He's a bit of an old man. We first see him present day in this healing chamber, surrounded by, I don't know if it's water or some other like healing fluid, where he's having his dreams. But he needs to go back there after he's beaten by whoever those guys with the electric shock sticks and ray shields were. He had to get right back there. So I'm curious, is that just years of abuse, or is there something more to it? Is he actually like dying? Like, is he ill? I mean, is there something that could be related to him being a clone? This is something that I've thought about. Like, we know that the clones from the Clone Wars had accelerated aging. They were designed that way, and it's not entire. I don't think Boba has accelerated aging because he's a pure clone of Jango. But maybe there are other drawbacks to being a pure clone that we're not yet aware of. Because I was also doing this math in my head. I think Fennec is actually older than Boba. But Boba definitely looks like the older of the two now. But we see Fennec as an adult during the Bad Batch, which takes place right after Order 66. And we know Boba is still sort of a teenager at that time. So it's interesting that, I mean, he was already leading his own band of mercenaries at that point. But does Boba have some accelerated aging? Potentially. I don't know. His health is not perfect. That's all we can say. And he does need to get his new crime empire in line. He wants to rule with respect. Fennec says sometimes in times of trouble, fear is the better way. And it's certainly the more traditional way in criminal enterprise. It'll be interesting to see if he sticks to his guns of dealing in respect. But I'm loving what we're setting up, and I love that we're filling in the backstory. Is it necessary, the backstory? No. Is it fun? Absolutely. So sign me up for more. I don't know how many episodes we're going to get of this. Is it a 6-episode season? Is it a 10-episode season? Is it somewhere in between? Will there be multiple seasons? It really feels like this could be a multi-season character. But I do love that we are getting so much Star Wars content these days. Ironically, the movies interest me less than the TV shows now. I think the TV shows are doing such a cool job. They're such a fun way to explore the Star Wars universe. And they're what really psych me up. I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan when it comes out. Andor after that. There's going to be a season 3 of Mandalorian. I feel like there's just a pipeline of new Star Wars content, and if Filoni and Favreau are behind it, then that's really exciting. Robert Rodriguez is down as an executive producer here too. Now, sometimes the director of the pilot gets some sort of executive producer credit, because here's the thing: if you direct a television pilot and it goes to series, you get residuals for as long as the series runs, even if you only ever directed the pilot. Directing pilots is a lucrative business for directors, and that might just be the deal. So it may have just been a one-off. Maybe we're going to see more, but I love Rodriguez's directing style, back from his days doing indies on ultra-low budgets. But he's perfect for something like this in my mind. And I can only imagine he's a massive Star Wars fan too. So sign me up for more. I'll be doing these every week. Thanks for hanging out this week. And until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.